with Copeland Pro Trader here at Verified Investing. What a wild days in the market. Today, we're going to talk about commodities, but first I want to talk about a little bit why the markets are reacting like they're reacting. Well, this morning, as far as we knew, we still had some sort of ongoing conflict in Iran as far as actually firing on Iran firing on us. So there's actual aerial combat at some point early this morning, or we had heard last that there was some bombing overnight. Well, we wake up, the markets are down. They're nicely down. Oil's up. The dollar is kind of flat. We don't have a lot going on. Interest rates are up. But as we fast forward through the day, let's fast forward all the way till 3 p.m. as we saw a little bit of a pop in the morning and fade, which is kind of what we've seen over the last few days. That's no surprise. Little pop, fade. But this afternoon, we didn't get the fade all day long. Matter of fact, a lot of us were thinking, okay, SpaceX IPO is coming. Maybe we'll see people pull some money out of the market. It's going into maybe SpaceX. People are trying to save some capital. Well, that all is said and done when you start to see the markets fade. But when you get a tweet or I guess a Truth Social post, I should say, that Trump says that we are no longer going to fire on Iran tonight, that those plans have been canceled, markets go up. And then we also potentially have a deal with the other Gulf nations. So we're talking about Israel, AU, or the UAE, and a lot of other areas that are also involved in this conflict. We said, okay, well, they're involved as well. We're close to the deal. The deal is going to be signed. Well, then they came back, say there's actually not a deal. Iranian state media said we haven't heard anything. Israel said, I don't think so. But markets, they're not stopping. They're still ripping. And that's what leaves us right now a little bit before the close. So let's go ahead and see what's happening now, because that all being said, it's been a wild ride. We're attacking, we're not attacking, we're attacking, we're not attacking. Red, green, red, green, red, green. And that's the candles we find on the oil charts. Actually, oil down nicely from today's high. We had a pop. We started at 92 or so. This again, futures. So this was yesterday or last night. And then we were up as high as about 93. Well, throughout the day, we were having pops and drops all the way through this area. Didn't get quite support at that close from yesterday. It actually is now falling nicely down about 5% intraday, about 3% on the day after yesterday's close. So we still have some areas of room to fall, actually, before we get some very strong support. The first area, if you're an aggressive trader for support, is right here at this red line. I'll hold it there for you. There you go. At 85.70. 85.70, we had these two pivots where we had some buyers step in and kind of defend that area. Same again, kissed this level back on June 9th. So just several days ago. 2 days ago, and then now we're kind of heading back in that level. So that level, I'd find a few intraday bounces in, nothing that I would, hold for longer than a few days. So that's if you're an aggressive trader, that 85.70 level. Now, if you're a little bit more conservative trader, there is a very nice gap fill down here at 82.59, which actually aligns, near perfectly with this pivot low from March the 10th, and then again on April the 17th. Those two pivot lows would connect us to a potential low. Let's say, goodness, this drops another 4% overnight. We could still see a bounce right there at 82.59. I really like this level for support. That is the level that I'm interested in. If you're not interested in buying oil anytime soon, well, what I would look at, if you're more of a person who likes to short, a really good short level I like is right here, right at this pivot high at 97, basically. Actually, it's right on the money, right on the nose at 97. That would be your first area of resistance, and that would be a 11% pop up. So that obviously wouldn't be today, but sometime in the future, we have this area of resistance there. But overall, looking at the macro kind of it, of the larger time frames of the daily, we have pivot highs, pivot lows. This is a wedge pattern. So if we do break to either side, don't chase the break of these two parallel channels. I would wait for retraces on either side, okay? So I'm just giving you some short-term and longer term on oil. Let's go over to gold. Gold has actually some pretty nice support right here. I'll turn this yellow now for this chart. It has some nice support here. It actually broke through. So as gold was falling today, as markets were falling, we're like, oh, wow, maybe we'll actually break this level of pretty strong support back from the March 23rd lows. Well, what happened? It broke, but it only went, if you were trying to take that trade in the futures, you're only down 1% before that reversal, that strong reversal. Let's go from those lows back to where we are close to close, about 4% move. So out 1%, up 4%. Not a bad day in the futures for gold. If you did try to play this area of support, it ultimately did work out for you. Now, if you didn't play here and you're looking still for a long position, a fall down to this, what was a pivot high in October 2025, pivot lows in October 30th of 2025. That area right here, I do find would be some support, and that's actually just below the 4,000 psychological level. So if you like the 4,000 psychological level, you're a little more aggressive. All right, it's right about here. So you do have some pivot lows here. I'll put it on the screen so you can see a little better. So it's right about 4,000 levels, some pivot lows there. Should get some support, but really I like this level that used to be resistance and support. So it kind of shows where those buyers and sellers have showed up in this area a little bit better at 3929. All right. So nat gas. Nat gas is another very interesting one. Let me just show you kind of the long term here. I'll delete this support for you and some of these resistance areas because I do like this trend line. Let's back up on this trend line. We had a pivot low in August of 2025, again in September 2025, again in October 2025. We had another hit of it in January 2026, kind of broke out, but kind of a fake out. Look at this. This is why I say I always like confirmation below, not just a break below. This is why I don't chase. A good example of it right here, because we broke below, but look where this closes and this closes. I'll zoom in for you so you can see a little bit better. So those closes, this candle right here that I'm highlighting, the January 15th candle, does not close below this close. Here's the close for one day. Here's the close for another. That's above. So that is actually, for me, not a confirmed breakdown. And what happened, we did ultimately close below this close the next day, but I need 2 days of close for that. So this kind of reset it. I would need to close another close for confirmed breakdown. And then what happened, actually, we ripped. I mean, and I say ripped, that's an understatement. I got to zoom back out here. We ripped 143% in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days after that. So just, I'm always wary, first of all, of natural gas because it's called the Widowmaker for a reason. This thing can absolutely move with no warning, but this wasn't technically a confirmed breakdown. So that's why this line still exists. Then we actually did have a touch of it, a bounce, and then a breakdown. And look at that close below. And then we had a continual fade after that. Now, that fade has brought us all the way down to kind of where we are now. And this is where I draw the support trend line because look at the near term. It has touched that again on April 26th, or first on April 26th, again on May 26th, and then again today. Now today, if we get a pop off that resistance line would be that downsloping trend line, which actually brings it back up to like basically the 388, let's just make it an even number, 389. So a more rounded number there. So 389, that resistance over the next couple of days. Again, it seems like a lot. It seems like 26%, but it can do it in 1 or 2 days. So don't discredit that. So about, that 389 level, I like as a potential short level, but also if you're a little bit more aggressive and you say, okay, I want a level a little closer. Well, this pivot high, that's a nice pivot high because it kind of corresponds with, it pierced this gap fill. So this gap fill was at 3428, pierced that at this pivot high, but I do like that as new resistance. Again, if you're a more aggressive trader or looking for intraday plays, but I do like this resistance line for a little bit longer of a play. Okay, so those are some of the main ones that we were talking about today. We wrote some articles on nat gas. We talked about oil all day long and gold all day long as far as commodities go. But I do want to throw in one that might shake it up a little bit that maybe you haven't seen in a while, which is corn. I just want to have a little fun at the end of here. This last chart I'll go over is ZC, 1 exclamation point. So the rolling contracts of futures of corn. Trading in a parallel channel all the way from the highs of June 30th, 2025, pivot low at August 13th, 2025. And it's been bouncing around, hitting a couple of times throughout that parallel. It has since, and I wrote this actually, I made this before this breakdown, but look at this potential breakdown because it came down and just kind of bounced around here and flushed through. Now, below this trend line, let me get a good reading here, about 10% below that trend line. All right, so if you're someone who likes to short, I would wait for you guessed it, if you watch these videos often, a retrace back to that trend line before fading again. I'm not looking to chase this, by the way, on the way down. I'm not looking to sell when we're already this far down and just this many trading days. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pop 1, 2. we could see some further downside. Now, if you're like, Elizabeth, I do not like to short commodities, that's okay too. We've got a couple of areas of support. The first one for aggressive traders for support would be this 404 level. That is a gap window. That's not a gap fill, that's a gap window. You could see some buyers step up there because we opened at one point a little bit lower at that level, bounced to this level and push. So at some point, buyers did show up at 404 whole number. That's for the more aggressive traders. For the more conservative traders, this 382.2 level, I love this for a swing trade. That is a good level for a swing trade, not only because it's a gap fill, but look just a little bit lower. We have a pivot low at 386.6. So an area of support basically all the way down here is why I like that better for a swing play. So hopefully you got something out of these charts. Went over some oil, gold, natural gas, and corn just for the fun of it. But hopefully you got something. Enjoy today, and I can't wait to see how these markets play out over the next several days, really.